Hello my friends, this is Joanna. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. In the past, I have shown you techniques where I was using scraps to create very pretty pendants. One of them was my swirl pendant, and if you have not seen the video, you should run over and check that out. And today is another day where I'm grabbing my scraps to create these pretty puppies. Now, I tell you that once you start using this technique, you will not be able to stop. I just found myself going back to my scrap drawer and grabbing more scraps and more scraps because I wanted to create more and more. And I really do hope that you guys will feel exactly the same way after I show you how I made these. And here are my scraps, really fun colors. There's some turquoise, I think there are pieces of maybe peacock, some green apple, pearls. There's one clay with glitter, I think it's turquoise glitter, of course a little bit of black. So basically, if you guys have seen me create some of my stones, this is gonna be exactly the same idea. You're going to see that I'm using exactly the same technique as when I'm creating stones. Well, up to a certain point, and then we're going to deviate from it a little bit. But if you are following my videos, this technique should not actually be such a surprise to you guys. You have seen me do that with probably brown clays and blue clays and things like that. So there you have it. I rolled it out. Well, I'm rolling it out right now, and you can see the glitter just comes through. I need to get the name of that clay for you guys because it is really, really nice. So here's the thing that we're going to start doing now. We're going to start slicing, and you want to slice it, but you have to slice it against the lines that we have just created, if you know what I mean. So I kind of want those little slices to be equal size. At first I was like, I'm just gonna eyeball it. That should work. And then I realized maybe eyeballing is really not going to work for me. So I've seen someone use a comb, and so just to mark the clay. So that's what I try to do. I use my comb on one side of the clay, and then I pushed it and created some lines. Then I went to the other side, and then I figured if I'm going to line up those lines with my blade, I should be able to do it. But the whole technique is you're going to slice it, and then you're going to bring it to the body of your pendant, and you're going to offset it. Take a look at the pieces that I'm really concentrating on are the darker ones, the black lines that I have there. You really can see them being offset when you work on it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to be slicing and offsetting the darker parts of the pendant, and then when I'm going to offset one part, the rest will follow, and that's how I will get my design. One annoying thing that I found was that the blade was sticking to my clay. Maybe if I had some water, maybe it would have been better, easier to work with, but I had to come up with something else so that I would not be annoyed all the time. But I hope that you can see that how the offsetting is working right now. You just continue on, and you are going to be creating those really, really cool designs. So here you have it. I used a used gift card to help me with making this pendant, but that's pretty much all you have to do. Just slice and offset, slice and offset, and you can create different kinds of designs. As you can see, I'm not very creative. I'm just going the zigzag style, but this was really my first pendant which I was making using this technique, so I kind of was a little bit shy with it. But look how neat this is coming out, and just to think that all of it were scraps that were laying in my drawer and not being used. So now that we have this ready for pendants, you can make sure, you should make sure that the sheet is really nice and smooth. I placed it on some other scraps, which is going to be the backing, and really and honestly, I'm just ready to start cutting. Now, you have seen me use those frames, aren't they just so neat? And what I do is I just press the frames into the clay, all the way into the clay, so they are using as the cutting device, as well as the decorative piece, and it just makes things very, very easy. And the pendants look so professional. So different, when you get a set of them online, they come with different kinds of shapes, so you can really go ahead and have fun with it. Now, I think that you can totally freehand it as well. Here you saw that I use my little my little frame just as the guide to cut the pendants, and you can do that as well if you don't want to use the frame, whatever you want to do. But those frames are just really, really great. I really, really love them. So now all that is left is just cleaning up the pendants, really making sure that they look presentable, that they look nice. If you're using the metal frame, just make sure that the metal frame is nice and clean. If you're not using the metal frame, then make sure that the edges are nice and smooth and that it has the shape that you want. And fun thing about freehanding is that your pendant is going to be very, very original. There's not going to be another one like it, for sure. Now, those little circle cutters are absolutely the best, although I still have a hard time making the cutting out those circles exactly in the middle. It's okay. I really love that tool. So after baking it and adding resin on, this is the outcome. Now, the shimmer is magnificent because I'm using pearl and some gold in it and stuff like that. I mean, I knew that my scraps had all of that. And I really seriously love it. The resin on this one looks superb. And I think that this is just a super fun technique to get rid of your scraps that would otherwise not be used. Well, my friends, you are going to have to tell me if you like this technique or not, because I'm totally hooked on it. And with that being said, I hope everyone is having the most fantastic day. Until next video, my friends. Ta-ta!